Philanthropy is a sacred and social responsibility of all enterprises, and it's worthier when it encourages self-help and encourages younger generations. This is the ethos on which rests the Hinduja business empire. The Hinduja family needs no introduction, so may I now invite G.P. Hinduja, Chairman of Hinduja Group and Hinduja Foundation, to the stage for a one-on-one chat about his views and experience on charitable giving in conversation with Saeed Ahmed. Saeed is a dear friend and a former star on BBC's The Apprentice. He's now the founder of an international technology company called Vortex. He has recently set up a production company with the aim of promoting social enterprise, and he's going to tell you all about it this evening. Introducing Saeed Ahmed and G.P. Hinduja. Please put your hands together.
I got this feeling inside my bones. It goes electric wavy when I turn it on. Off from my city, off from my home. We're flying up no ceiling when we in our zone. I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Thank you, Mr. Hinduja, for taking part this evening. I'm here for three reasons. Firstly, the opportunity to interview the wealthiest family in the UK, the Hinduja Group, so thank you, Mr. Hinduja, for taking part. Number two is to be part of this spectacular evening and enjoy celebrating charities that are making a difference quietly to our world. And thirdly, quite importantly, I've enjoyed the food as well, so. So we're going to sit down and I'm going to ask Mr. Hinduja some questions, so please, Mr. Hinduja, this is your seat. That's for you, and this is for me. Thank you. Great, I think that's the mic. So Mr. Hinduja, as a fellow entrepreneur, businessman, running my business, I know how difficult and how challenging it is to run a business. What truly inspires me is the extraordinary success of the Hinduja Group, the Hinduja brothers, and it can only mean that its leadership is extraordinary. And secondly, it really is mind-boggling. I think the last time I checked, it was somewhere around £20 billion of wealth. So one of the questions, I've got a few questions, if I may. One of the questions is, please share that journey of your success. And then secondly, what defines success?
Thank you. Firstly, the definition of success for every individual in life is different. A nurse may like to be a good nurse. She may like to be the top. The surgeon may like to be the best surgeon. The one who wants to climb Everest mountain, that may be a success for him. So the definition of success for each and every individual is different. So from which definition of success you would like me to start with?
I think I'd like to start with your success, the definition of your success, because that's the one that I'm really interested in. I'm sure the audience here too.
You see, my life has been full of struggle from the age of 17 and a half years. I am not an educated person, but my experience, I can say, has a lot of education. And every day I have something new to learn. At the age of 17 and a half years, I was ordered by my father to visit Tehran where he was the first Indian to be there in 1919. And he had a strong determination to honor his commitments. He believed word is a bond. He had made commitments of textile mills for huge quantities. But the World War, everyone else had announced force majeure, but he said, I will not do force majeure. Because I have committed, I will honor irrespective of that. And when I went to Tehran at the age of 17 and a half, it was really a great shock to me because I had to break my education from the second year of my college. As my elder brother was not keeping well. And in the city of Tehran, where they hardly understood English, and I hardly understood Persian, and to deal in a city where language was a big barrier. Second, we were strict vegetarians. Third, we believed strongly in our traditions and culture. And in a Muslim country, it was very difficult to carry on, but I had to keep up the reputation of my father, and I struggled to understand each and every word of Persian language. So without going to the university or school, I can claim I speak, I read, I write Persian very well. And again, that was from the determination which I had. Secondly, on business.
So sorry to interject. So the first challenge was it meat? Was that the
Yes.
halal meat and chicken? So you did extremely well because I found out today that the meat wasn't meat, it was a vegetable corn meat. And it was just as nice, but it was a bit of a surprise. So that was your first challenge.
First
the local-
challenge.
the
Second
local
challenge
culture-
was I had to sell the goods against the competition of the Jewish cartel.
And what was it that you were selling?
Textiles, tea, jute goods, and spices. And being an Indian, it was very difficult. And moreover, being an Hindu, in those days, in Islamic country, it was not easy.
Yes, I can imagine it must have been quite challenging.
Irrespective, with the determination in my mind and with the blessing of our parents,
And your charm, because you just said hello to me and shook my hands, and I would do business with you any day. So
anyhow, I made it up, and from there I learned quite a lot that if you people have a determination to achieve something, you will be able to achieve. And we followed the route of having blessing of our parents and to be a Karam yogi.
So thank you. So if I've got this right, if I summarize it into 2 words, is determination, stick to your word, and stick to what you know.
You're perfectly right.
Okay, great.
You have summed up well.
Thank you very much. So in your opinion, what defines success? You know, all these years in business, what truly defines success? If there was 1 or 2 characteristics that you had to pick
Let me
out,
explain to you.
please.
In my experience, each one has different targets of success. My success, I believe that if every day I don't do something good for the society, something good for people who are in need. If I don't do anything to help the humanity, I feel depressed and I feel I'm unsuccessful. So that is the definition of my success. I do not define success with wealth. I do not define success with power. I do not define success with anything to do with materialistic world.
Thank you. Thank you. I think that was very, very clear, which brings me on to my next question. So I think it was last week. So I accepted to do this a few weeks ago. Pratik called me. And I did my Google research, and I found that the Hinduja brothers were the wealthiest in the UK. And then I think last week that changed, which was
You know the reason why it was changed?
Please tell us.
They wanted my photographs and they wanted an interview, which my children, who have learned to remain low profile, they said, Dad, we should not be anywhere in any magazine, any paper, because even our parents taught us one thing. When you are doing something good for the society or humanity, do it and forget it. Don't publicize it.
Amazing. I actually feel honored that you've accepted to do this interview. So if there's any magazines here, please just, no photo shots. And, thank you. So in terms of, I mean, we're all aware of the extraordinary philanthropic work that you do. If you were to summarize some of those projects that you're currently working on, please do share some of the projects.
You see, firstly, I think all of you must be knowing the difference between charity and philanthropy. Suppose there is charity, I believe, is something when you are helping somebody for one time and helping him, like someone who's wanting to have food and you gave him a sandwich, that is also a charity. But in reality, we all should follow philanthropy. We should try to see how we create institutions, how we focus more on health and education. Because my father believed health and education is the first right of human being. And if you have good health, you have good education, there cannot be anything better than that. And even in our scriptures, it's very clearly written that the only wealth which can go with you after your death is education.
Absolutely, and I would like to echo that, if I may, Mr. Hinduja, and say that I think that's throughout all religion. It's the same continuous message. So in terms of charity, what's the secret? Do you think charity creates success? Have you experienced that? I hear stories that if you give charity, you get charity back. Is that true?
Look, let me tell you, it will be misleading to tell you that charity brings success. It will be misleading to tell you if you are doing any good philanthropic work and if you are doing it with the expectation that it will come back to you, you are doing a biggest error. You can do charity, you can do philanthropic activities, but the Almighty always blesses and gives the success to people who do right things. And that is what helps you, that is what gives you joy, that is what gives you happiness. We all here are working for what? Joy and happiness. And joy and happiness only comes when you get blessings from others. You have to start counting not the zeros in your bank balances, but you have to see in a day how many blessings have you got before you went to sleep. And the day you have not received any blessings, that's a waste of your day. This is what I believe and my family believes.
Thank you, Mr. Hinduja. And as a last question, what advice do you have for the charities and the leaders here tonight that are passionately working to make a difference? How do they grow their charities? And if you had to share one or two key insights, what would it be?
You see, how we go ahead in our charities, our philanthropic activities, we have 3 different foundations. One which focuses in India, one which focuses in Europe, one which focuses in US. And our charities, our philanthropic activities, we focus on health and education. And as we said, that health and education are 2 important elements which can provide a human being everything. And to do good things, it's a very difficult job. Doing charity is very easy. You can just bring out 10 pounds, 50 pounds, 100 pounds and give away. But to build an institution and to make sure that the money what you are giving for that institution is going in the right cause and be spent in the right cause is the most important thing. So, my friends, please take care of one thing, that every day what you do, there has to be a philanthropic angle to it. You will be surprised, being a businessman or a successful man doesn't mean that you are not doing a charity in that. Because when you say work to give, if you are creating jobs, if you are giving employments, that itself is a charity. That itself is helping the humanity. So, a successful businessman should not be only counting his bottom line PAT or EBITDAs as in America, but he should see how many jobs has he created and how well he's looking after them. In our organization, all our employees, we call them a Hinduja Parivar. Hinduja Parivar means Hinduja family. They are all the members, and you will be shocked to know that there is no retirement age in our group. We have 150,000 employees. If they want to retire at their age, they are welcome. But if they are not retired, I have people with me 80 years, 85 years, and they are sincere, they are loyal, they work for the group as their own group. So, no one is going to take away wealth with himself. But instead, if you plan and start doing good philanthropic activities, look well after your employees, create your jobs, there is nothing better than it.
Thank you very much. And if I had to just summarize that, Mr. Hinduja, it is that the key to success is that we should all do one charitable act a day, and we will then get to £20 billion turnover. Thank you so much, Mr. Hinduja. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Can I have an oath from everyone that each one of you will at least do one good thing every day? It's not only with money, but you can do it in different manners.
Okay, so I'm in. I'm in.
No one is raising
I think we'd
hands.
like to see the hands that we're all going to commit to this action of one good charitable deed a day. Brilliant. Thank you very much. Thank you.